Welcome to the Box Score Sports Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Box Score Sports YouTube channel. I'm your host, Ryan. On today's clip, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the Game 2 of the NBA Finals, the Thunder beating the Pacers 123-107. Before I get into my commentary, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts of Game 2, what you expect in Game 3. Let me know your key moments or key players, key stats to why the Thunder beat the Pacers. Now, before I get into some of these keys, let me just say, I heard this from Ryan Russillo, and I just believe it. You cannot fake desperation. So I expected the Thunder to sort of take Game 2 pretty convincingly because they came out with aggression, passion. They came out with hustle, and they needed to because they lost home court. So there is, to me, a sense in Game 2 that I felt like the Pacers were just complacent that they got home court. That's a feeling I got. However, other people feel that the Thunder are just turned on the jets. They're ready to go, and that this game will be done in the series, I should say, will be done in 5 games. I don't know about that. I still think it's going to be a 7-game series. I still think the Thunder will find a way to win it, but I think it will be closer. So let's get into some of the keys of Game 2. I'm going to start with this. There was a Thunder run in the first half that I really think just kind of blew the doors open and kind of put this game to bed, even though we've seen the Pacers come back. It was when Halliburton took his first trip to the bench to get some rest. It was about a 7-minute stretch. The Pacers were down by 1 point, 21-20. And then the Thunder kind of broke it wide open, got a 13-point lead, 40-27 before Halliburton came back. I think that was one of the keys. When Halliburton went to the bench, the Thunder took advantage of it. Huge. It really threw the momentum and swung it even more so to the direction of the Thunder. And I feel like after that point, the Pacers were unable to rebound. Okay, so that was one of the keys. I think Chet was another key to this victory. His aggression coming out into the game. In the first half, he had 11 points. He was 5 of 8 from the field. Now, in the second half, he kind of cooled down a little bit. But in the first half, I think his aggression was part of the reason why the Thunder were able to not only get the lead, but like extend the lead. And it helped put the clamps down on the Pacers. I think the bench play, huge for the Thunder. So Jalen Williams didn't have a great game. Dort didn't shoot the ball a whole lot, and neither did Case and Wallace. So a lot of the offense actually came from Caruso and Wiggins. Now, with Caruso, you also have his defense. So if Caruso is also shooting 6 of 11 from the field and playing his style of defense, that is always going to be a huge positive, a huge plus for the Thunder. He had 20 points alone, but him and Wiggins combined for 38 points off the bench. Now, in contrast, the big bench player probably in Game 1 was Obi Toppin. I think he had 19 points. And in this game, he shot 1 of 8. He did not have a good game. He shot like 12% from the field, and it showed in the box score as far as and it kind of hurt the Pacers. That the fact that Obi Toppin had such a bad game, because if he goes, let's say 4 of 8, that's what you could say 6 to 9 extra points, right? Somewhere around there. The game's going to be a little closer, obviously. Like, that's maybe a stupid statement to say. But the point is, the bench was better for the Thunder than it was for the Pacers. So the other key, I think, for the Thunder was their defense. I thought the Pacers did a good job of moving the ball around. But yet, even though the ball movement was really good for the Pacers, I don't feel like they got a lot of good open shots. The hustle, the aggression, the moving on defense to recover running out to the three-point shot, I think that also helped. And it showed because in the first game, game one, the Pacers shot like 46% from the field, from the three, I mean, three-point line, where in this game they shot only 35%. And so I think that probably helped the Thunder, their defense. When it's on, man, it's really hard to score on the Thunder defense. Along the same lines of the three-point shooting, they both scored or made 14 three-point shots. So last game there was an advantage of 7 extra three-point shots that went to the Pacers. In this game, no advantage. I think that also helped the Thunder. I wonder if that's going to be a point of emphasis moving forward, that the Thunder make it like a concerted effort to shoot more threes. They only shot 6 more, but that's all you need is a couple extra threes in game one, and you probably would have won. Versus in game two, where you matched the Thunder, the Pacers. The Thunder matched the Pacers, so there was no advantage for the Pacers in that category. That was huge. Let's see here. Siakam. That was another key. Man, they made Siakam work, but Siakam, who has been phenomenal all playoff long, basically, he's had a game here or there that he has struggled with. But in this game, Siakam was 3 of 11. He did have 15 points, but 3 of 11 shooting is just not going to get it done. He needs to be a little better with his scoring. And there was that one shot he hit at the end of the third quarter that didn't count, that he like squared up and he didn't have urgency when shooting. He hit that three, but it didn't count. His play, offensively especially, the shooting, really led to the Thunder having a huge advantage. Now, let's see here. I just want to make sure I hit it. Okay, now I'm going to call this the Keyblade to victory. I know if you're a nerd out there and you love sports, you'll make the connection. It's a Kingdom Hearts reference. If you haven't played Kingdom Hearts, I have. It's a pretty good game. But this is, I think, what the most important or most telling key to victory for the Thunder. And that was the difference between SGA and Halliburton. Now, if you look at the numbers, Halliburton's numbers it's not too bad. 7 of 13, 17 points, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. It seems like he had a pretty okay game, a Halliburton type game. SGA, 11 for 21, 34 points, 8 assists, 4 steals. He was outplayed. Now, I expect that because if you look at the usage percentage of SGA and Halliburton, like SGA is in the 30s, like mid 30s. Halliburton's like low 20s. Like, it's just the different style of play. So you're going to see SGA's effect on the box score, his presence on the box score, more so than Halliburton. Now, if you watch the game, they have similar effect on the game. But part of the problem with Halliburton, though, is that he doesn't have, I think, and this is maybe something he'll grow to having, is he needs to start being aggressive when his teammates do not show up, when his teammates are struggling. He needs to learn to be that leader. Now, he's only 25, and maybe that's one extra step for him, but he needs to learn that even when defenses are doing their best to like hone in on you, you still have to come through in these big moments. Now, let's look at this stat, because this is really the telling stat, because I read you Halliburton's stats for the game, but first 3 quarters, Halliburton, 2 of 7, 5 points, 4 assists. Now, he moved the ball well, right? There was sometimes he would kick out, get a guy kind of open, defense would run out and contest, and the guy would miss the shot. So there was a potential in another world, in another universe, where Halliburton probably had 13 assists by the end of the first 3 quarters. 13 assists. And then you're like, well, the reason why he didn't score a lot is his teammates were scoring and he was getting them open. Okay, fine. But when your teammates can't make shots, when they're struggling a night, that's when your field goal attempts need to be higher. You need to be more aggressive. And he started, I think, to figure that out in the fourth quarter. He shot more. He almost shot as many shots in the fourth quarter than he did the first 3 combined. But again, let's look at the comparison. Let's compare that to Shea. Shea, first 3 quarters, 9 of 18, 7 assists, 27 points. So the biggest key, the keyblade of the game, so to speak, was really that Shea outperformed Halliburton. Shea always is aggressive, and because that, it gives the Thunder an advantage because their best player is always looking to like get his. And I know that sounds selfish, but he's so good at it. That's the way you want him to play. Halliburton isn't always going to do that. And that's okay. We like that style of play, but the problem is then a lot of your success is determined by how your teammates perform. And you're relying a lot on them. So we'll see what happens moving forward into Game 3. So a couple things, I think, for the Thunder for Game 3. Continue your aggression. Continue closing out. Make them make tough shots. Make Halliburton passive. Just like you did in Game 2, I think if they do that and they can get the scoring they did off the bench, I think Jalen Williams will eventually show up in this series. And once that happens, I think the Pacers could be in real big trouble if they don't counteract the Thunder, what the Thunder did in Game 2. Now, Siakam, I expect to play better in Game 3. I expect Halliburton to be super aggressive in Game 3. I think he'll learn from Game 2. He'll be aggressive. I think that'll be good. And also we know that role players shoot better at home. We know that. It's usually the case. So with the next two games being at home, you have a little bit of advantage. Game 3 will tell me personally, and maybe tell you, whether or not this is going to be a really short series or it's going to go long. I'm still going to say Thunder in 7, but we'll see. Because if the Thunder blow out the Pacers again in Game 3, I think we're going to end up with a short series. So comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on Game 2. Let me know what you think what's going to happen Game 3 and the rest of the series. Sorry, I dropped my notebook. Okay, we'll subscribe to the channel, like the video, and we'll talk to you guys real soon. Thanks so much for watching this clip of the Box Score Sports Podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter or X. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. See ya.